Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to give you another great workout you can do in your home, and we're going to start with some push-ups today. So I've given you lots of examples over the last year and a half or so of doing them in different stages. So against a wall or against a treadmill, using your kitchen countertop is a great example. I'm going to demonstrate on a bench today. So be sure to get warmed up before you come into these workouts, 5 to 10 minutes, get your heart rate up a little, get your muscles warmed up and ready to move. The other things we're going to use today are either like a medicine ball or just one dumbbell, a fit ball, and I think that's it. Yes. So I'm going to demonstrate these push-ups on a raised surface today. So you can do them in any phase that you feel comfortable. If you want to do them on the floor, that's great. I'm just going to demonstrate this today because it can feel a little bit different. It's the exact same position as if you were on the floor. One thing that you can do to save your wrists is either put your hands over the edge, or you can kind of put them around the sides depending on where you're doing them on the bench. The key thing though is keeping your shoulders directly over your hands and then keeping your chin tucked and not jutting down like this. It's a really common thing when people do push-ups and they kind of jut their head towards the floor. They don't even realize they're doing it. It's just kind of what our bodies want to do. So we're going to raise and lower as one plank, one straight line, keeping your chin tucked, breathing, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. It's just either on a raised surface or on the floor or wherever you're doing it. You're keeping everything in the same alignment. Okay, now I'm going to raise up my camera here. And we're going to do some lunges. So we've done lots of different types of lunges, side lunges and backward lunges and things like that. I'm going to show you a forward lunge today. So I'm always leery of teaching this one, so be sure that you are using correct form. Follow what I'm saying. When you step forward into a lunge, you want to take a really large step and then lower your whole body straight down. So when you take a forward lunge, you're not going forward, like you're not lunging like that. You don't want your knee to go out over your toes. So you want to keep your heel, the weight in your heel. So you're going to want to push this back just a little bit. We're going to lunge forward and then straight down. Push back, switch legs, and then I always recommend doing this next to something sturdy. Kitchen counter is the perfect example, or a bar, something that you might have in your home. Straight down, push back. Now you can add some weight to this if you prefer. Just hold the weight. You can either hold weights in 2 hands if you're experienced with this, but generally I'd recommend that people just hold a weight in 1 hand and keep 1 hand free for balance because you are so spread out. So forward lunge, body stays upright and back and forth. So we're going to do 10 on each side. If you're having knee pain with this, you could do a smaller range of motion. So you can get out into this position and then just do a small range of motion. Everything is staying the same. I am keeping my weight just going down, not forward. Keep breathing. Keeping that weight in that front heel. 2 more each side. Pushing back. All right, good. Okay, so those forward lunges, if you have any knee pain with those, stop. You can send me a message, or you could just do those reverse lunges that we've done in the past, where you step way back. It's easier to keep your weight going backwards, or rather straight down when you do a reverse lunge. But I like to do those forward lunges. It gives you a little bit different feel, but just make sure you're not having any knee pain with those. Okay, next we're going to do dips. So I'm going to use this bench again. Turn it just a little here. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this as well. You can either do, if you have an armed chair, you can sit and try to push yourself up off that armed chair, you know, like that elevated surface. Or you could use yoga blocks. I do that a lot in my gym where you put yoga blocks right up next to you and then you push up off of those. Or we can do what we're going to do today, and a coffee table is a great tool for this, or a sturdy kitchen chair shoved up against the wall. So you're just going to lower your weight down off the edge of whatever you're on. So to start with, if you're ready to try this, you can come up to the edge. The further your knees are bent, the easier it is. So if your knees are bent, you're not having to lift that much weight. Start by going down and then coming back up to the seat. So it gives your arms a little bit of a break. If you've done these before and you know what you're doing, you can go ahead and go and do this. One of the biggest keys here is keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Once you go into this position, it's really easy to come into this position, but you want to make your shoulders work in their proper range of motion. Lower down, come back up. Now, like I said, if your knees are bent, this is going to be easier. The other thing you really want to focus on is keeping your back touching that chair, that bench, all along. So you want to keep your back flat against this to keep from shoulder pain. If you want to, you can straighten out your knees, make it a little more difficult. And then you can decide on how far you lower off that bench as well. And I think that was 10. All right, good. So this is really targeting your triceps here. And that's where you should be feeling it. When you push down, your triceps are really firing there. If it's hurting your shoulders at all, stop and do that method with either, you can use a couple really large, I would say phone books, but we don't have those anymore. A couple large phone books or a couple yoga blocks, like I said, but keep those shoulders down. And then if you are using those types of things, what you do is you push up and then you come back down. So you're pushing up on those objects and then coming back down like that. Okay, great. Now we're going to lower down to the floor. Had some hard stuff today. And we're going to do some bicycle hips. So if you want to use a pillow for your head, I want your whole body in alignment, like I always say. So start like you're going to do a clamshell. So your knees are bent, and then we're going to straighten out one leg. So envision if you're standing on the wall across from you, that's where I want your leg, and that's the starting and ending position for this exercise. So we're going to bicycle up and around and then straight back down. So don't pull it backwards. It's just a straight back down. 2. Nice and slowly. 4. This is a great hip stabilizer, strengthener, making those glutes fire. Nice and slow. 7. And then hold it for just, count at the bottom. 9 and 10. Good. Now we'll switch sides. Make sure you have something under your head here so everything's in a good alignment. I like your cervical spine in line with the rest of your spine here. Straight down to start. Bicycle forward and down. Just like you're going to ride an upright bicycle, you're going to cycle around once and come back. If this is a lot for you, you can do, just 3 or 4 and then rest. Complete your 10 if you can. 7, keeping that toe in good alignment here so it's not turning out to the side or anything. And it's generally, it will just kind of stay right in line. 9 and 10. Good. Okay, we're actually going to stay down on the floor for the next one. We're going to do Russian twists. So grab either your medicine ball or a dumbbell works for this too. So if you don't have a medicine ball, or you can just use a pillow or something, easy to just hang on to. So what we're going to do is sit, I'm going to turn around, I think. You're going to be sitting with your knees bent and your heels on the floor like this. So you're going to grab your object, whatever you have here. And then we're going to lean back a little bit. So when you lean back, make sure your back is still straight. So you're leaning back, you're not hunching back like this. So everything is staying nice and tall. You're going to take that object, your ball or your weight or even a gallon jug of water, and we're going to tap it side to side. So you're twisting and tapping side to side. One thing you can do too is you can roll up a towel or like a small squishy medicine ball or something and put it right in your sacrum for a little bit of support if you need that. Or you could sit like on a balance pad or sit on a pillow or something, but do whatever you can to make this comfortable. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay. So the further you lean back, the harder that's going to be. So if this is new to you and you're having a lot of trouble with it, you can sit up a little taller and start there. And then the further you lean back, the more difficult it will become. Okay, great. We're going to end with a balance exercise. So make sure you get up nice and slowly, and make sure that your head adjusts slowly and that you don't get dizzy when especially standing up from lying down on the floor. All right, now I've got a fit ball here that I'm going to use for this last exercise. I want you to stand on one foot. We've done this off and on. We're going to stand on one foot and we're going to take this fit ball and we're going to go in a big circle all around your head. So you're making like a big circle frame for your head. Now, if standing on one foot is too much, do this in a tandem stance. If that's too much, you can stagger it, do a staggered stance. And we're going to go 5, nice and slowly. So you want to go slowly here, all the way around. Now we'll switch feet, and now we're also going to switch directions of the ball. It might feel kind of heavy after everything we've done with the dips and the push-ups today. 3. Sometimes I tell people too, if they're in this position and they need just a little kickstand with their other foot, that's a good way to kind of just give you a little bit of extra support if you need it, if you're losing your balance. And last one here, all the way around. Good. Okay, the next time you do those, try to think about going the other direction. So if you can remember which, if you just went clockwise and then counterclockwise or vice versa, try to do them the opposite way next time. Challenge your brain. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you stretch really good when you're done. You can go ahead and do these through 1 to 2 more times. And if you really want to give a great workout and you can do some 5 to 10 minutes of cardio in between, come back, do the circuit, go back to your cardio, come back, do the circuit, and then stretch and cool down at the end. Have a great workout, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.